Yo, I think we are live. Yes, we are. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having themselves a nice day. Nice Tuesday night, except for Golden State ruined my sweep by blowing that lead. Man, Klay Thompson, that three he took. We don't even have to get into details. He took a 27-foot three contested when he had Looney wide open under the basket. Made me actually ill. If you subscribe to this channel, you probably already know who the guest is. FTB he comes on a lot during the baseball season. He's with the guys over at Gold Boys, so check them out on Twitter. They have a Discord. There's a ton of people in there. They got some good stuff. His Twitter is right underneath his face there. If you want to check him out. Just 7 games tonight. Let's get it started. First up, Wizards at Orlando. This line is 10. Prop Beaver was saying something about Wizards actually have a nice record against the spread on the road here. Are you actually going to back them here though?
No, I'm going with a prop here. I mean, if I do have to take a side, yeah, I definitely would take the Wizards at the plus 10 because 90% of the money, and I mean, the bets are on Orlando. Line isn't shifting. And honestly, the Wizards on the road, much more competitive team. If you look at their home game logs, they're pretty much getting blown out, which is insane because you would think you have home field advantage. But apparently the players hate playing in Washington, and it shows because on the road, they're a team that's 7-3 against the spread. And that's why I'm comfortable taking it over here for the Magic. I wound up going with Paolo Banchero over 27.5 points plus assists. You get that at minus 115 on most books. So he's 6-1 at home without the duo of Fultz and Carter Jr. on the court, averaging 29.7. His lone miss came by the hook as well, so he's been competitive every time out in the spot. Now he's going to face a Washington defense that's allowing the 5th most points per game, 6th highest field goal percentage, and 4th most assists per game to the power forward position over the last 2 weeks. We've seen some notable recent forwards against Washington, such as Giannis, post 34 and 50. Miles Bridges have 33. Chris Middleton had 25 despite playing 23 minutes. So that shows something. Randall had 30. Siakam had 45. Even Gordon Hayward, the mid-range assassin himself, had 36. And I like the matchup even more for him here because 82% of his shots come from at the rim or from mid-range. The Washington defense, in terms of shot efficiency over the last month, they're 28th at the rim, they're 24th from mid-range, and they're 3rd best from three-point. So they're defending the three ball quite well, actually. Now, as I was saying earlier, over with a double-digit spread, kind of scary at times, but Washington 7-3 against the spread on the road. Add in the fact that Paolo Banchero has a team-leading 8.6 potential assists and 5.9 assists in his last 7 home games without Fultz. And I like the fast-paced matchup here for an over. Totals at 234.5 as well, which is pretty high for a Magic game.
I'm kind of on the same page. I think my mic's a little quiet. Let me turn it up a little bit. How about now? Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm kind of on the same page. Different a member of the Orlando Magic though. I'm on Mo Wagner. Why did you make the Magic graphics different color? Whatever. I'm on Mo Wagner's over points and rebounds. I talked about it on YouTube last night. There are 3 kind of mismatches, let's say, that I like for the Magic here. Number 1, they're great on the offensive glass, and Washington's terrible at limiting offensive rebounds. So the Magic should have plenty of opportunities to grab offensive rebounds. Number 2, Magic, first in the NBA in the last 10 games at free throw rate. Orlando's getting to the free throw line. And number 3, the Magic take a lot of their shots. 41% of their field goal attempts over the last 10 games are come at the basket. So they take a lot of inside shots. Washington's terrible at defending the interior. So I picked the guy in the Magic who does all 3 of those things. He does come off the bench, but he's averaging about 19 minutes a game with these injuries. Wendell Carter out, Fultz out, so he's getting a decent amount of minutes. This guy gets it to the free throw line, he gets offensive rebounds, and he shoots at the rim. He does all 3 things, all 3 mismatches I like for the Magic. Mo Wagner does it. So over 17.5 points and rebounds for me. FTB, you doing anything in this one?
Yeah, a little scary. We all going with different Magic players, but yeah, I'm gonna go. You know, we got a starter in there with Paolo. Great breakdown by BU's there.
Thank you.
And then we going with two bench guys. So I like Cole Anthony, 15 plus points. I also played. Sorry, let me get back to it. I also played him for 20 plus points at plus 225. So I think you guys made some great points. Obviously, the National Blowout Association, you got to be worried about that. People see a double-digit spread, you know, shit can get kind of scary. But like Beaver said, Washington has been doing decently well, good job at keeping games close, especially on the road. So I think we kind of keep this game close enough for majority of the game to have a chance at cashing all three of these bets. So Cole's just playing great ball right now. Last 5 games, covered the baseline 15 plus in all 5 of those games, averaging 14 attempts per game, which I love. Obviously, one of the things we can cap is opportunity, and he's getting that. 19.2 points per game, 40% from three, getting to the line a lot. Actually leads the team in free throw attempts in that span, getting to the line over 6 times per game, and he's shooting 90% from the line. So you gotta love that. He's just balling right now. He's in a rhythm. He's getting more minutes, putting up more shots. You guys have probably heard, people watching have probably heard ad nauseum how the Wizards can't guard any guards, and especially point guards. Bottom 5 in terms of points, assists, rebounds. I saw some smart people playing his points and assists, his PRA. I'm not mad at any of that because Cole does all 3 of those things very, very well. So I'll just stick to the points, little ladder, 20 plus at a little over plus 200. Love Cole tonight. So 3 different Magic players. Hopefully we all can cash. But like Beaver said, should be a pace-up game for the Magic with the Wiz playing so fast. High total, should be a close game. So I think game script plays well for all 3 of us. So love Cole tonight. I think he balls the fuck out.
Yo, FTB, when I was making the graphic and I saw the play, I was like, God damn, that's a good ass play, man. I've been noticing that Cole Anthony's hot as hell right now. And honestly, if you go ahead and you look at him at home with the volume you were saying, just 10 plus shot attempts, he's 5-0 to the line, covering that line easily. So yeah, That's a good ass play.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we are all on different Magic players. Our poll, our community, almost everyone selected Magic -10, which is understandable. They're one of the best teams against the spread in the NBA start this season. 65% of our viewers clicked on Orlando, 21% taking the 10 points with Washington, 12% over. So a lot of people clicking the over. Let's move on to game number 2. Lakers at Pistons. Let's clear the board here. This line, it's 7 or 7.5. So I'm going to give a Lakers -7 available, and I'm going to put a Pistons plus 7.5. And I'll go first because mine's a super light bet, and it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's tongue-in-cheek because I am going to bet it, but I mean, I'm taking the Pistons. I'm not like banging down the door to get you to tell me it's my smallest bet of the night. Basically just playing the spot for the Lakers. They got OKC on deck tomorrow night. Not in a couple days. This isn't Friday night. This is tomorrow night. They travel to Oklahoma City for a huge Western Conference game. So, I mean, this random-ass road game against the Eastern Conference team, these games shouldn't exist on the schedule, honestly, because it's a road game against the Eastern Conference team is going to be one of the more meaningless games on the Lakers schedule throughout the year. And then you put it right before a game against Oklahoma City, who's playing some of the best basketball in the Western Conference right now. The Lakers want to get up for that one. I don't even know if it's confirmed that LeBron's definitely playing. He's questionable every single night. I know he's questionable every night, and he always ends up playing. I could see this being the one that he's ruled out on, saving for Oklahoma City, or this is why it's not a heavy bet. I also could see the Lakers playing everyone tonight, beating the hell out of the Pistons, and then just punting tomorrow night and eating the hell against OKC. I can see that one too, because tomorrow night is not on TNT, it's not on ESPN, it's not on national TV. So I could see that as well. So this is me just playing the spot. It's a bad spot for the Lakers. The Pistons, look, they've lost, 14 in a row now? They're actually 4-6 against the spread in their last 10. So they're not just the blind auto fade that you think they are. I'm just putting a few dollars on it to make it fun. This is the way I would lean. Trust. If you're on the Lakers, I completely understand. Lakers have actually been playing pretty well. Who wants to go next?
I'll take it. So for this one, I want to back my boy Jalen Duren. I went over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. I got it at plus 100 earlier today, mostly at minus 115 on most books now. And I just feel like this line's a bit crazy. I feel like we're getting a bit of a discount due to potential foul trouble because AD is great at drawing those fouls, getting to the line, but even with foul trouble, Durant's been great at cashing this line. He's 5-1 to the line with 4+ fouls this season, averaging 14.8, and 7-3 since 22 at home with 4+ fouls, averaging 14.5. I like the minutes that he's been getting lately. He has 26+ minutes in 7 to 10 games this season, averaging 29 minutes per game. Guess what? When he gets those 26 minutes, he's 7-0 to the line, averaging 17.6 rebounds and assists. On top of that, if we go back to last year with 26 plus minutes, he's now cashed his last 13 of 17 in these spots, averaging 15.4. And what I really like about this matchup is the fact that, shockingly, centers are having a field day in the rebounds and assist department against LA. LA over the last 2 weeks is allowing the most rebounds per game and most assists per game to the center position. Recent centers versus LA, we have Embiid with 22. Jared Allen with 17, Derek Lively with 13 in 19 minutes, Alperen Sengun with 15, Ayton with 14, Sabonis with 23, Nurkic with 16. The last time he faced LA last year, he had 15 and just 23 minutes. They're going to need him on the court to defend the rim with both LeBron and AD coming at that basket. So I like the price, I like the spot, and I like the matchup. So that's what I wound up going with here.
I love the Ren. FTB, you got to play in this one.
No, I do not. Complete pass, my brother.
Don't blame you there. So we got Lakers at Pistons. I'm on Detroit +7 for a light bet. Prop Beaver's on Duren. Wow. Actually, our poll split on this one. I thought I would be on my own little Pistons island. A lot of the community out there clicking on the Pistons. 42% of our viewers click Lakers. 38% picked Pistons. So there's a lot of people taking Detroit here. I got a little bit of a squad with me on this one. Let's move on to the next game. Suns at Raps, and you know what sucks is this probably would be a really cool matchup to bet and handicap, but obviously Kevin Durant questionable. I think Grayson Allen is also a toss-up. But let's run the poll. Whoa. Let's run the poll here. We got Suns -3, Raptors +3, over, under. All right. FTB, you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, so I'm going with what feels like a little sneaky one, just because he's not, the most consistent. He hasn't been doing amazingly over his last couple of games, but we're gonna go with the big man, Yusuf Nurkic, over 10.5 points. I'm not mad at 11.5, but again, with a line so low, every point matters a lot. So if you can get 10.5, scoop that up. I'm debating on what I want to do in terms of laddering and stuff like that. Obviously, I want to wait for the news too. The two-man game between KD and Nurkic has been working. KD's averaging close to 2 assists alone per game, just to Nurkic. So obviously KD being there opens up a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, you look on paper, and I think a lot of people will be kind of scared off of this matchup. Toronto on paper not allowing a ton of points, ton of rebounds to centers, but I think that's a little bit misleading for a couple different reasons. So over the last 7 games, Toronto just 26th in terms of opponent points in the paint. They're allowing opponents to make shots at 62% field goal percentage within 10 feet of the basket, which is obviously, the closer you get in, the more the efficiency goes up. But 62% is 62%. And then you look at what some of these big men have been able to do. They really haven't faced any dominant scoring big men, but still, I mean, Nick Claxton, 15 points. Deron Sharp, 5 points in 15 minutes off of the bench in that game. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley both covered this low line. Miles Turner, 17 points. James Wiseman, 15 points in 24 minutes. So I think the opportunity is going to be there, right? He doesn't get plays drawn up for him a lot, but I think the opportunity for putbacks, opportunity to be the recipient of playmaking by Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. The Raptors are notoriously a team over the last couple seasons that like to take away the best players. So whether that's through traps, hard hedges, stuff like that, I think that's going to open up some room for Nurkic to have himself enough of a day to cover this low points line. Sorry, my dog is going crazy. I want to wait for the KD news because I do want to play Nurkic double. We're sitting at +200. I also think KD's assist line was severely mispriced. I woke up this morning and it was over 4.5 for like +105. As of like an hour ago, it was still plus money on FanDuel. So 4.5 assists seems a little wild. The man's averaging, I think it was like 10.7 potential assists over the last couple of games. So I know Book is playing and he's healthy and stuff like that, but both of them have been doing an amazing job at playmaking for the Suns team. So I want to wait for the news. If KD is ruled in, I'll most likely play Nurkic double. And if the assist line for KD stays at 4.5 for playable odds, I'm definitely going to play that as well.
So I'm going to bet the Raptors here, and I actually already did. And if I end up getting screwed, I got it at 3. If Durant ends up playing and I ended up getting screwed, so be it. But The reason I'm playing Toronto kind of plays into what FTB just said. Toronto plays their best defense from mid-range and outside. They're weak at the rim on the defensive side of the ball. The thing is, Suns don't really attack the basket like that, so I feel like getting Nurkic involved underneath is probably going to be the smartest coaching decision for the Suns, but that's not really the basketball they want to play. So I like that on the road in Toronto, maybe forced out of their game plan a little bit. Suns are also, on the other side of the ball, Suns are also weak in limiting offensive rebounds. That's been the strength of this Raptors team for 4 or 5 years now, dating back to the Nick Nurse years. Raptors are always a strong offensive rebounding team. Suns are 25th defensively in offensive rebound rate. Raps are 10th offensively, which is actually a down year for them. You usually can hang your hat on the Raptors being a top 4 or 5 offensive rebounding team month in and month out. So that's another area I think the Raps have the advantage. I also like the spot for Toronto a little bit, coming off back-to-back losses, back home where they usually play better. Historically, this isn't an easy place to go play. So I like the spot for them. And actually, the Raptors like to run the floor a little bit. 5th in fast break frequency. Suns are decent defensively in transition, nothing great. I think they're like 13th in efficiency, 14th in frequency. So I think the Raps will have some opportunities at fast break. I think I'm holding a Toronto +3 ticket, and if Durant is ruled out, I feel like I'm holding great value. If he's announced in, I have a shot. I probably am on the wrong side if he's announced in, but I'll still take it. I'll roll the dice here. I'm on the Raps. Prop?
Yeah, don't really love anything for this game. The one thing that I was looking at is possibly Pascal Siakam over. But the thing that kind of makes me a bit hesitant there is if KD ultimately doesn't go, which I have a weird feeling that he doesn't here. They don't have the Booker lines up, which makes me believe that they don't want to let the Booker lines be opened. People take his overs, KD's out, then they have to readjust. They get cooked on those lines. But the main reason I don't want to exactly go ahead and lock in Siakam is the fact that Keita Bates-Diop is one of the best defenders on the Suns and actually one of the better defenders in the league. He'd probably be the primary guy on Pascal Siakam. I'd much rather KD in that matchup, even though KD isn't the worst defensively. So pretty much just going to pass here until we get some firm injury news.
Curious, if Durant is ruled out, does that affect, I know that affects the Booker stuff. Would that affect the Nurkic line as well, you think, Durant being ruled out?
At least a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
True. All right. So let's see what our community. Wow, another one where we're split down the middle. A lot of people clicking Raptors. We got 45% of our community are laying the 3 points with the Suns. 43% are down to take the 3 with Toronto. Pretty split on the total. Next game. Sixers at Pelicans. This is a good one. This line's at 2.5 now. This was a pick 'em last night when I was recording the video last night. So market's moving towards Philly. Line's moving towards Philly. Let's get the poll running here. Sixers -2.5. Pelicans +2.5. Over, under. All right, polls running. Prop Beaver, do you have a move in this one?
Yeah, I'm going with Joel Embiid over 38.5 points plus assists. 6-2 his last 8 games, averaging 39.9. And what really stood out to me is the distribution during this span. He's going off. During his last 8 games, he's averaging 7.9 assists per game on 13 potential assists per game, being very efficient with it, getting a ton of opportunities. And now he's going to face Jonas Valanciunas, who's a guy I'm always looking to fade, one of the worst defensive centers in the NBA. His defensive rating is 29th amongst 36 players that qualify as a center, who average 25 plus minutes. And on top of that, the Pelicans defense this season, according to Fantasy Pros, allowing the 8th most points per game and 9th most assists per game to centers. He annihilated Valanciunas their last 2 matchups, averaging 44.5 points plus assists. And that's despite just having 5 assists in each of those games. In terms of the shot zones, the Pelicans are excellent at defending the 3 ball in terms of efficiency, but they're quite bad at defending the mid-range and the basket. They're 29th in mid efficiency in the month of November, 24th in 3-point efficiency in the month of November. 87% of Embiid shots are coming from that spot. I think that he could cook Jonas down low, and if they do decide to double him, then I'm confident he could rack up those assists to make up for maybe a little bit of lost volume. So that's what I'm rolling with in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of Valanciunas, dating back to when he was with the Raps, but I never really could trust his defense. So I'm with you on that. FTB, you got to move on this one?
Yeah, I think I think ultimately there's going to be a pass. There's too much I like in this game. I wanted to fade Jonas. He might foul out in the first quarter. So,
Yeah.
but then I look at his points line. It's like 11 and a half juice to the under. So can't really take that. I like Zion in this matchup. I like Embiid in this matchup. There's just so much I like. So probably just going to stay off.
I am on the Pellies. I think they win this one. All right, so first of all, I love the spot. Let's talk about the spot first, because on paper, I don't really like how they match up on the court. But as far as betting spots go, I love it for the Pelicans. You got New Orleans coming off back-to-back embarrassing losses to the Jazz. Now they're back home where they usually play better. They need this win. They just come off back-to-back embarrassing losses to the Jazz. They need this win. They're 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 at home, so they've been playing good in this building. Their only loss against the at home recently was by 1 point to the T-Wolves, who are arguably the strongest team in basketball, or top 3 or 4 team right now. They want to win bad. CJ McCollum is back on the floor for the Pelicans tonight, which is huge. Maybe their perimeter defense takes a little bit of a hit because that kid Dyson can play some defense out there. But CJ McCollum obviously instantly upgrades that offense. I mean, I always thought CJ McCollum was so undervalued. So Trey Murphy also returning soon. Not tonight, but soon. The vibes are high with the Pelicans right now. I think they have high hopes moving forward. This is just a great spot for the Pelicans to just make a statement. Beat the Sixers. Trey Murphy about to come back. McCollum's back. Coming off those 2 losses. I love the spot. Meanwhile, on the other side, I hate the spot for Philly. You got Philly coming off back-to-back wins. A real nice road win in OKC. Went on the road to Oklahoma City, beat the Thunder. Then they blew out the Lakers in the following game. So Philly's riding high right now. They got this weird-ass Western Conference road game against the Pelicans. Friday night, they got Boston, in Boston. Arguably the biggest game of their season is Friday night on ESPN. Not saying that Sixers aren't going to care about this game, but I can guarantee you they don't have this one circled on their calendar. This just is like a nice little punt spot for the Sixers and a great spot for the Pelicans that need a win. I really like the spot for New Orleans. That being said, little worried about the matchup because the Sixers have been very good in transition. They're 4th in fast break efficiency. Been very good running the floor, and that's the weakest part of this Pelicans team. The Pelicans give up a lot of points in fast breaks and a lot of fast breaks, period. So they give up a lot of fast breaks, and they're not good at defending them. So, I mean, I'm worried about the matchup. But as I was looking, if you isolate it to the last 5 games, Philly's been settling for a lot of threes recently. In the last 5 games, 33% of the Sixers' shot attempts have been above the break 3-point shots. That's the strongest part of the Pelicans' defense. Again, maybe a slight step backwards without Dyson, but look, the market's against me. The public's against me. Everyone's on Philly here. I'm riding with the Pellies. I'm sticking to my guns. Give me the Pellies here. And, wow. Go ahead.
Yeah, if I can say one thing real quick. I would look at New Orleans second quarter as well. They're top 10 in offense, top 4 in defense in the second quarter. Obviously, Joel usually plays the first full 12 minutes. Then you should get, 4, 5, 6 minutes of no Joel on the floor. So if you think this Pelican spot, you like them anyways. I think if they're down in the first quarter, I think they make a run in the second quarter, kind of, make this game tight going in a half. So Pelican second quarter is something I was looking at too.
It's a good idea.
Someone just said Kyle's getting worked up about the Pelicans. I'm passionate about Pelicans basketball. So our poll, another one where the poll surprised me. Our people are clicking New Orleans here. 58% of our community clicked on Pelicans plus 2.5. Just 37% clicked on Philly. So the data's showing the public's on Philly, but you know what? Maybe there's more people taking New Orleans out there. Next, Jazz at Memphis. What a game! What a game! This is you guys could go. I'm going to run the poll. I have no interest in this game. I'm not. No, I got nothing. Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna start off. I got Desmond Bane over 5.5 assists. Unfortunately, that got juiced the hell up, so I'm gonna give you guys a pivot in a second. But let's talk about Desmond Bane here over the 5.5. If you look, he's only 4-4 in his last 8 games. But I want to isolate that to the last 4 home games because during the span, he's 3-1 to the over. He's averaging 7.5 assists per game on 13.5 potential assists per game with 9 adjusted assists. So he's going well over this mark. He's getting tons of opportunities. And in those 4 games, he faced Utah, who's our matchup tonight. He had 8. Phoenix, tough matchup, had 8. Boston, extremely tough matchup, had 8. And Minnesota at Minnesota, the toughest matchup in the league, arguably, in terms of defense. He was still able to hit that line 3 times. He's now going to face Utah again, who's allowing the 3rd most assists per game overall, 2nd most to point guards, and 5th most to shooting guards. Bane in his last home matchup against Utah had 18 potential assists. That is some Tyrese Halliburton-esque numbers there, and he only turned it into 8 assists. He was well over a line, and he got unlucky in terms of conversion percentage there. So I think he gets a bit more lucky in terms of the conversion, maybe a few less potential assists here. But in his last 2 at home against Utah without John Morant, he's had 8 and he's had 9. And there's so many guys out for Memphis tonight that I think he's going to see plenty of minutes to hit the mark in a fast-paced matchup. Now, unfortunately, it got juiced up. So how do we pivot? What I would recommend doing, right, is I would take the over 5.5 assists, but I would SGP that with 2 3-pointers made for Bane. The Jazz are one of the worst perimeter defenses in the NBA. Walker Kessler's back, and he has a great hit rate against Utah. In his last 5 games against Utah, he's had 3, 4, 2, 4, and 7 3-pointers made. So should have plenty of opportunities to cash that from outside, along with our assist. I know FTB's playing Desmond Bane in a different way, but I think we can both cash here.
Well, I didn't we just have a podcast on earlier that was like that said Bane dropped like 39 or something in his last game against the Jazz?
I believe so.
FTB?
Yes, sir, and that's exactly where I'm going. Bane. So the base play is going to be Bane over 22.5 points. Okay with 23.5. I think he goes crazy. I think he fills up the box score. That's why I like Beaver's play as well. So I'm gonna just rattle them off because I have like 2.5 units on Bane tonight. So Bane 3+3s was -150 when I played it. 4+3s +170. 5+3s +370. I also played 25+ points and 3 threes at +215, and I played 30+ points and 5 threes at +600. So obviously those 2 things are correlated, right? He's going to be taking a lot of threes, hopefully making a lot of threes. So I think those things are correlated. Like you guys said, played Utah twice already this year. First game was very much an outlier, right? Blowout, 27 minutes, only shot 37% from the floor. But the man took 19 shots, took 12 shots from 3. That's all you can ask for. I'm not mad at that. And still ended with 21 points. So right around where we need. Second game, the man repented for his sins and learned his mistakes. 37 points. Again, shot 28 times, 13 from 3, made 7 threes in that game. Just absolutely went crazy. Obviously, this is another matchup that's a little bit weird. On paper, Utah's pretty good against guards, right? Both point guards and shooting guards, pretty good against guards. So, what did Beaver say? All these box score cappers, they would be scared off. They would be scared off for this play, but we are not. If you look a little closer, obviously Utah terrible defense, allowing 120 points per game, almost bottom 10 in defensive efficiency. They just don't guard well individually. They don't guard well as a team. And I think the biggest kind of result of that is number ones being able to go off. So I was looking at it earlier. Last game against the Jazz, they had BI and Zion. Both of them went crazy. First game against the Jazz only had BI. BI did his thing. Against the Blazers, Jeremy Grant had 30 fucking points. Against the Lakers, AD actually showed up, right? Which is crazy. I think he scored like 26 points in that game. And it just goes on and on. So number one scorers are able to have volume and are able to be efficient against this Jazz team because they play very little defense. So I think this is a pace out spot too. The Grizzlies already play slightly faster without John in the lineup, but against this Jazz team, that's going to be pushed even more in terms of the pace. So yeah, pace, no defense. I think this is a great spot for Desmond Bane. I think he shoots the ball, 17, 18 plus times, 9, 10 plus 3-point attempts. Then he gets to the line a fair bit. I just don't think they have the individual defenders to contain Bane. So yeah, whether it's assists, points plus assists, PRA, threes, whatever you like, I like it all for Bane. So obviously, have over 2.5 units dispersed on Desmond. So I think he has a night tonight.
We are a Desmond Bane program today.
A lot of people were chirping. I had a lot of people on Twitter saying Desmond Bane doesn't respect coin. Desmond Bane doesn't do this.
Yeah, I mean, we can chirp at the window. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
As long as we're having a conversation at the window, everything is all good.
He's coming tonight. He's coming.
I'm definitely going on Twitter right after this and reading all those comments. All right. So our poll, looking like Utah's a little bit of a public dog here. 50% of our viewers clicked on Utah plus 4.5. 39% are down to lay the 4.5 with Memphis. 5% over, 4% under. Moving right along. We got Rockets at Nuggets. And this one sucks because the Rockets have been playing good. This would be a cool matchup, but the entire thing is everyone's questionable. And as like about 15 minutes before we went live, Van Vliet was ruled out. Jayshawn Tate was ruled out. And I thought the injuries were on the Denver side. So now we got Houston guys sitting too. I'll run a quick poll. I got nothing for this one. Just because, in case you don't know what the deal is with the Nuggets, Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, all questionable. Now, the line was sitting at 7.5 even before the Van Vliet stuff. So I assume at least one or two of those guys are going to play. But obviously, this is the NBA. We don't know for sure. So I got nothing for this one just because there's too many injury question marks. Either you guys have something?
No, I don't have anything for this one, pretty much for the same reasons. But I do like both the FTB's plays. So let's hear what he's got.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't want to give out stale lines. You know what I'm saying? I saw obviously the Fred VanVleet news. Haven't checked the line since that happened, but about 30 minutes before that happened, I locked in Sengun over 4.5 assists. I also played the 7+ assists. Again, I'm not in the business of giving out stale lines like a lot of these motherfuckers on the internet do.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna go into that. If you can get, I don't mind 5.5 at decent juice. So if you can get that played, I still like it. I think Sengun has a day. But yeah, I think Nikola Jokic is gonna play tonight. That's just me, right? I think he's gonna play. So if he doesn't, fuck it, boys. But I played Jokic over 21.5 rebounds and assists. When I got it, it was still -105 on ESPN Bet. I also played Jokic triple-double at plus 200. Holy shit, what an insane price at plus 200. Obviously, he's at home where he just absolutely racks up the rebounds and assists. If you don't really like the assists because of injury news and stuff like that, 12.5 rebounds, I'd play that just as quick as I play rebounds and assists. We look at his career versus Sengun. Obviously, we're used to Houston being trash, so a lot of blowouts mixed in there. Since 2021, only averaging 26 minutes per game versus Sengun, but still averaging almost right on 21 rebounds and assists. So imagine, averaging 38, 37 minutes that he's used to. Imagine what he would do. But obviously, these teams just played. Jokic and Sengun both went absolutely crazy. Sengun is baby Jokic, no question about that, but still doesn't have the size necessarily to compete with Jokic. This Houston team in general doesn't have the size to compete with Jokic. So I think Jokic dominates again. However you want to play Jokic, PRA, rebounds, RA, I like it no matter what. I think Jokic balls the fuck out. I actually think we get AG and Jokic in the spot, which obviously helps Jokic assist even more. But yeah, at home, amazing hit rate. I think it's a great matchup. So yeah, give me Jokic over 21.5 rebounds and assists, and a little sprinkle, a little sprinkle on a triple-double at ridiculous price. Anytime it's over plus 150, I'm going to play it more times than I don't in terms of the triple-double. So yeah, love Jokic.
Two things I just want to add. The Alperen Sengun line is at 5.5. You could get it at -130 on MGM, -130 on ESPN.
5.5 and juiced.
Yeah. Do you think that's worth it, FTB, or not?
It depends on who you ask. Me, right? You see how Kyle just reacted? That's how most people react with juice.
Yeah.
I really don't give a fuck, right? That's just me personally. So yeah. I would still play it, and I would obviously I played 7+, so obviously I think it's going to cover 5.5, but I'd still play it. If you want to add a juice reducer, maybe a magic money line or something like that in there, I'm not too mad at that either.
Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to add is just that I've been noticing that the Houston defense on the road is not nearly as potent as it is at home. And then you mentioned that Aaron Gordon may be playing. The rim efficiency is what really falls off for Houston on the road. I believe they're top 10 at home, bottom 5 on the road. If Gordon's back, cut into the basket, then Jokic should be able to rack him up easy.
All right. We like Jokic. So our poll, obviously heavy on the Nuggets. It's Denver at home, as expected. It doesn't matter how public it is. They always seem to cash. But injuries are a concern. 63% clicked on Denver, 28% clicked on Houston. Last game, Clips at Kings. Interesting one here. Kings broke my heart. I was 5-0 with one bet remaining, and it was Warriors money line. Why I didn't just take the 1.5? I don't know. I always take the points. I don't know why I went with the money line last night. crushed me.
Bro, that shot from Malik Monk is like 1 in a million. It was such a terrible shot.
Oh my God. I know. So this one's at 2. Kings +2, over, under. All right, Prop Beaver, kick us off.
I don't really got anything for this one. This is the only game I didn't really get to take a firm look at. I wanted to see. Well, actually, no, there is no injury, so I must have been lying in that department. Yeah, I didn't get to take a firm look at this game yet. But I mean, something I did just notice. I was looking at the Sabonis line. It's at 12.5, under juiced -120. Last year he was 0 for 4 against Zubac, and it wasn't even close. 10 or less rebounds in all of those games. On top of that, if you look, yeah, he's a beast on 0 days rest. Going back to last year, is 10-5 to the over, but you take that and you filter it to on the road against 0 days rest. He's gone under his last 4 or 5, averaging just 11 per game. So that might be something I look at later. I got to take a further look because maybe I'm not trying to get exactly trapped there. He has gone under this mark in 4 straight with 11 or less in each. But that's something that just stood out to me.
The other dude says Sengun over 5.5 assists. I'll ride it. And dude said pause. All right. So I want to just preface this. I hate myself for this. I hate that I'm doing this. I am betting on the stupid ass Los Angeles Clippers. I feel like. All right, so obviously the spot is good for the Clippers. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. Sacramento coming off a huge emotional come-from-behind win last night against, let's face it, a team that has pretty much become their rivals now. The Warriors after the playoff series and then the matchups earlier. Kings and Warriors are rivals now. So coming off that huge, they were down like 13 or 14 points late in the third quarter. So that was like a really nice comeback win in front of their home fans. So without a day off, immediately playing a Clippers team that's coming off an embarrassing loss to the Nuggets that were playing without everybody. That was truly humiliating. They didn't even show up for that game. Well, actually, I think they showed up in the first half. They completely faded in the second half. But so you got the Clippers who are coming off an ugly loss, rested against a Kings team who just played a crazy game that went down to the wire against their rivals. So obviously, it's a great spot for the Clippers and a bad spot for the Kings. But that's not the only reason for the bet. Because, to be honest, I was still down to bet the Kings. Like, okay, who cares if the spot sucks? It's the Clippers. I like the Kings. But it's also, I actually found some matchups on paper that I like for the Clips as well. Strength of the Kings' defense is on the perimeter. One thing the Clips do a really good job of getting to the free throw line. On the last 10 games, Clips are 5th in free throw rate, something the Kings have struggled with this season. So Clippers should be able to get to the foul line at a pretty high rate here. Clips also take a ton of shots from mid-range and from the paint. Like I just said, Kings' defensive strength is on the perimeter. And on the other side of the ball, Kings, as we know, they shoot a ton of three-point shots. Clippers have been solid defending the three-point shot recently. The weakness of the Clippers defense is the mid-range shot, according to the numbers. Kings are 29th in mid-range frequency in the last 10 games. They haven't been shooting from that range. So, look, it's not just the spot. The Kings were 8-7 against the spread on back-to-backs on the second leg of back-to-backs last year. So it's not like this team can't play with no rest. They were 8-7 against the spread. It's not just that. It's that and a combination with, I also like the matchup for the Clips. I'm going to watch this game, and the Kings are going to go up 15, and I'm going to hate myself. But I'm on the Clippers here. FDB.
Yeah, no, Kings go 15. You live bet it again at plus 700, and we all celebrate right once it's done. But yeah, I'm Keegan Murray just got officially ruled out too, so that helps you helps a little bit. But yeah, I'm with Beaver on this. I haven't got a chance to really look at it. Everybody knows real degens don't look at the late Western game until day of, like 6 p.m. ish.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'll look into this game. Not a lot of interest on the surface, but yeah, just pass for me. Follow me on Twitter. I'll probably put something out for the late game.
All right. Obviously, our poll heavy on the Kings, as expected. Everyone's going to be betting the Kings here at this price, too. Got the Kings at home getting points against the Clippers that just had an embarrassing showing. Public's going to flood in on the Kings. I'm on the other side. I'm on the Clips. We'll see how it pans out. 58% Kings. So actually, you know what? Let's do we can do like a community teaser or something real quick. Oh, don't you have a same game parlay?
Yeah, I cooked up. I got the underdog with basically my 3 plays that weren't bumped, so I got that. And then I also we made a SGP for the Pistons game.
I have them both right here. You emailed to me, so let me pull them up. Let's see. First up, we got Prop Beaver made this SGP here, and here it is. So, Prop Beaver, go ahead and walk them through it.
Yeah, so we put the Pistons pick that Kyle had. I like that too. I can see this is a bit of a flat spot for the Lakers before they go ahead and play OKC. I added my Jalen Duren play with the rebounds and assists because I really like the value on that tonight. But the third leg that I added, I wanted to go with the blocks for AD. Didn't want to put that up as an official play. Didn't want to double up because, I mean, have you seen the Pistons play basketball? Could be a blowout. But, I mean, centers are absolutely murdering their block lines against the Pistons right now. Daniel Gafford with 4. Miles Turner, who ain't even like that, with 5. Jakob Poeltl with 3. Jared Allen, 5. Clint Capella, 3. Brooke Lopez, 4. Nurk, 3. Eubanks, 3. Dude, honestly, this is a trend I need to start playing going forward, but teams are swatting the hell out of Detroit because this is a team that aggressively drives to the rim and doesn't have the most efficient shooters. So I think that there's a lot of value in that. You combine the 3, you're getting it at plus 500. So that's the SGP we cooked up for this one. If you have a little risk-free bet or something like that, go ahead and let's ride with us. And then the underdog, pretty much just combined everything. I didn't put the Desmond Bane one in there due to the fact that it got bumped 6. And at 6, it's like, I don't really know. I mean, I'd rather just have it at the 5.5. Don't know if there's much value in asking for 7. So I did the Paolo one, did the Embiid one, did the Duren one, all normal lines there. And I'm hoping we sweep tonight. So yeah, FTB, you have any like long shots or anything you're giving out? I mean, I saw you did a couple ladders of your plays earlier, but
Yeah, longest shots for the night. Bane 30 plus and 5 threes. That's plus 600. I mean, I'm not mad at Sengun, 8 plus assists. You could probably get like plus 400 on that. Cole Anthony, 20 plus points, plus 225. So I'll make something probably like Bane 25 plus, Cole 20 plus, something like that. Real long shot. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Word.
Let's do a community teaser or something. It's the first NBA live show of the year. Let's see if we can hit something as a community. So they were on Magic minus 10, so that would be. What should we do? Let's go Magic minus 6-point teaser is more of an NFL thing. Who cares? Let's just do it. Lakers minus 1.5.
You want to just do like a money line lay?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's what we do in MLB, actually. It's probably Lakers money line. Suns Raptors. Didn't Raptors win that poll?
I'd be shocked.
No, it was Suns, but it was close.
I was going to say, are people in the Raptors' favor these days?
Pelicans were the dog that won it. All right, so we'll take the what we'll do is there are only 7 games, so we'll take the top 2 results from each poll. So top 2 are getting in. We got the community parlay.
I feel like a lot of people kind of have beef with the Raptors right now because their props are just so unpredictable these days. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, Siakam one day will shoot the ball 24 times. The next day he's shooting it 10 times. Scotty Barnes will shoot it 70% one day. He shoots it 29%.
Scotty, bro. Holy fuck.
Scotty's the model of inconsistency. My Christ. So, I mean, I can see why people aren't really loving the Raptors these days. Even Poeltl, dude. Like, I remember I took Poeltl against the Pacers. Could not have been a more golden matchup, but he shot the ball 4 times in 30 minutes. That was insane. Next game, he's facing like the Cavaliers, like top 5 rim defense, has like 6 points. Just, I love this sport, man. I love it.
So it looks like the top 2 results, Magic and Lakers. So we're off to a pretty chalky start here. Magic money line, Lakers money line, and then let's run the last 3 games, and we'll take the top 2 results from that. And
gotta be Nuggets.
Yeah, you would think.
At the crib? I mean, come on.
And Jazz were a public dog, so maybe Jazz get in there.
I don't blame them. I mean, the Grizzlies. Huh.
Yeah, I think Memphis wins that game, though. The line really says all you need to know.
Yeah, I think Memphis wins also. I was actually considering taking Memphis minus 4.5, just playing the number, because clearly odds makers are taking a position here. But I was just like scrolling through some Grizzlies numbers and like looking at the injury reports, and I was like, I can't do it. So it looks like it's going to be Nuggets and either Kings. Yeah, no one's voting for the Jazz. It's Nuggets and Kings. So we do get a dog in there.
Okay.
Could you pull up FanDuel and run the odds on that, please? So it's Magic, Lakers, Nuggets, Kings.
That is coming in at plus 294.
Plus 294. All right. First NBA community parlay of the year. Orlando money line, Lakers money line, Nuggets money line, Kings money line. Let's start out with a W. Thanks everyone for watching. I don't know if I'll be able to do it every day until after this week because college football, it's conference championship weekend. I still have a lot of college football stuff to get out, but eventually we'll be doing NBA every single day. And what we'll do is FTB will have like a set day of the week or something, because what happened was at the end of MLB season, trying to schedule everything was like a hassle for me. So I need to have it set. So maybe he has like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something, and we'll have a rotating guest like we did in the beginning of baseball last year. So everyone, remember to bet responsibly. Have yourselves a great night. I'll be uploading more stuff tonight. Make sure you follow FTB. You probably already follow me and Prop Beaver, but if you don't follow FTB, his thing's right there. Always putting out, he tweets out stuff all the time. Also does a lot of MMA, UFC stuff. So if you're into that, definitely give him a follow. Everyone, have a great night.
Yo, FTB, you know what I wanted to